I just feel like there's all this tension. Don't you feel that tension this year? It's kind of like that's the only way that we can react, is just be ready to photograph it.
I am running for President of the United States.
I am officially running for President of the United States.
I've been a senator,
You haven't done it.
I'm not a politician. Thank goodness.
I think, like many Americans, I never thought that Donald Trump would get this far.
If Donald Duck had been running against Hillary, I would have voted for Donald Duck.
You don't need to be a president no more than me.
He doesn't care what people think. He tells the truth.
Whether it's the truth or not, I think he tells you the way he feels.
Hey, when you're a star, they'll let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the pussy.
Yes, this is who Donald Trump is.
Does that language bother you?
I think it's totally irrelevant.
She lied about her emails.
I would bomb the out of him.
These cyber attacks come from the highest levels of the Kremlin.
How stupid are the people of the country to believe
We have a
this?
divided nation because she has tremendous hate
What he
in her
has
heart.
said about African Americans.
We haven't seen anything of your candidate's taxes. So fast. And when she said
keep hearing this negative language?
she meant it. The stamina.
After all, when there are no ceilings, the sky's the limit.
Such a nasty woman.
My 30 years of experience.
I want to build the wall.
I was in the Situation Room monitoring the raid. He was hosting.
You're hearing about Hillary Clinton. We're hearing about Trump.
I think it could turn into a civil war.
It is hard to keep track of all the ways that today's election could make history.
Hillary Clinton, if she wins, would come to be the first female president.
Nor has the country ever elected a candidate quite like Donald Trump.
The debate over just about everything in the country is kind of the point where everyone's just hypersensitive and very nervous, very skeptical.
Good morning.
Big day.
Big day. We're here.
At last.
And what it means, like for me photographically, is I just have to spend a lot more time talking to people. And if we could have a reasonable conversation, we might actually get somewhere.
With at least a shot at winning, what does it mean that he has gotten a lot closer to the presidency than many people expected?
Well, I started covering politics because I want to better understand the issues that I care deeply about. And I don't feel you can do that unless you're engaged in the political process. For me, that meant photographing it. I've enjoyed traveling with the campaigns. It allows me to photograph both sides. It allows me to interact with people, both Democrats and Republicans. We need to keep the spotlight on all these dirty rascals, too.
We're walking over to the Javits Center, where Hillary Clinton is going to be hosting her victory party, we think, but we don't know. Whatever happens, it's going to be extremely memorable. I've been doing some assignments for Time magazine, mostly political rallies leading up to the election. All of this political theater, it's so much about what is expected. I always feel like the role of any observer is to come away with their own expression of what they saw. Yeah, let's hope that everyone comes out of it in one piece.
I think this is the most important election of our time. The stakes are very, very high, especially being in the South. I am actually a fine art photographer, and it wasn't until 2013 when George Zimmerman was acquitted for the murder of Trayvon Martin that I, as an artist, wanted to go to the ground to find out what was going on and follow Black Lives Matter. People ask me why I'm shooting in black and white. It's because with the young people, they say nothing has changed. They're still fighting the same fights their grandparents and their parents are fighting. My work is about our culture and our time. I wanted to know what young Americans thought about America. Artists are the gatekeepers of the truth.
This long journey is almost over now, but will the nation be happy where we end up?
So my name is Matt Eich. I'm a photographer that was born and am now based in Virginia. I'm a freelancer, so I work for magazines, anyone from National Geographic to New York Times Magazine. I'm making pictures for a project about Virginia. And today being election day, I'm assuming that there's going to be this sort of like shared experience that we can tap into.
Among the key states in this election are Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, North Carolina, and Florida. Heavy fighting.
Yeah, I will not take it at all. I'll leave it here. Like, he depends on us. They all depend on us, and we depend on them. We're all making money, you know? And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with the work, is try to speak to the kind of codependency of the media, the candidates, everyone. Like, everyone is like this cog in this fucking machine, and like, we benefit from it. We benefit from him saying crazy shit. That's the fucked up part. It was, I actually voted for a president, but I don't know anything about the judges of the civil court county. They just put in Big Bird. They're not very organized there. They gave me a torn ballot, and I had to redo it. And then their machine was broken, so I don't even know if they'll actually count my vote. I've been making these double exposures, and I've been shooting around Trump Tower. Sometimes the images I make are from months apart, and I'll pull up cards that I've saved from earlier in the year of Trump's face, and I'll put some element on it that, you know, is like the news story of that month or that week. Or I might just make new ones that I shoot today. As a photographer, you're approaching people, even if you're not talking, it's still an exchange of energy in some way. So we're making historical documents here. It's a historical time.
So what's the game plan?
It's a nice day. I think people will be out running and hanging out. We can pull some people, see if they want to smash some electronics.
I'm a video artist and director based in New York City. Today we loaded up all of these devices with videos and montages that we created of the election coverage.
We hated the overwhelming media and like the untruths and twisted conversation of the last year and a half.
And how divided everyone has become because of it, and frustrations just on both sides.
Don't tell me you're offended when I say pussy, but you're not offended when Donald Trump does what the campaign's doing at the end of the week.
Just wanted to find something that everyone could agree on. We have a baseball bat, we have a golf club. I don't want anything that feels too murdery. This one, I'm not sure we're gonna get to work.
Yeah.
It looks like it's been through a lot.
It's so nice that all your friends donated this stuff.
See you later, friend.
We're taking these devices out into the community with these videos loaded onto them, letting people destroy these devices and get out their frustrations.
We need to have a little fun today.
Trump's on a roll. With an improvised biblical scroll. You put the Lord back in heaven. You put the steels on 11. He'll build bridges to the sky. Oh.
And that's the one that the magazine wants to use. I mean, he certainly looks wise, that's for sure. And tough, like a banker should. You know Mark Peterson, huh? Did you see that book? When I saw this, I thought, this is fabulous. This secret little relationship between a photographer and the political figure. That's a terrific page, isn't it? I was trained as a youth to be a revolutionary citizen, to change the world for the better, for socialism in my parents' eyes. And so when I started photographing at the age of 12, I became a missionary in trying to visually accrue the story well told. It's not about taking a picture with the big A of art, you know, underneath it. It's about the transference of energy, about experience, to how it can be re-experienced in another form.
Trump and Clinton are in New York this morning, where they'll be casting their ballots. Among the key states in this election are Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, North Carolina.
How about it, guys? We got Trump here. How about it, guys? Trump here. We got Trump here, yeah? I met Trump last week.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, you are? Yeah. I was there for the RNC.
Oh, you were?
Were you
there?
there?
RNC, yeah.
Oh, nice. We probably crossed paths. Yeah.
Probably about 100 times.
Probably. I was inside and outside. Were you on that alleyway?
Yep.
Yeah. But there's still people at Trump Tower?
Yeah, there's hella people out there.
Hella people?
Yeah. Word. Guys are arguing about Obamacare.
It was like a group of black Trump supporters.
Okay.
And the protesters.
Any fights?
I wish. I have my camera out earlier.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. It's a real American experience to see the political machine up close. It's fascinating to me, and it also makes for interesting pictures. This is about walking around, going on the hunt, trying to find moments that I respond to.
Who are you guys working for? You working for Javits?
Yeah, we set up the catering.
Oh, catering, okay.
Time magazine.
Do you guys want to share with me who you voted for? Did you vote today?
Hillary. I tell, I don't care. Hillary.
You all voted for Hillary?
Yeah. I had to. Yeah, who else to vote for?
If Hillary wins here tonight and we're in the building, that's going to be special. That's a real moment in America's history.
Tonight, women voters could make the critical difference.
I have an important duty, I mean, more than ever, to vote for the first woman president.
I can't expect that because we have a female president that life is going to get better for my daughters, but I would at least hope that she's going to move us in the right direction instead of pulling us backwards. And the longer I'm a parent, the older my girls get, the more worried I am for their future.
But she's still ahead in the early votes, so I don't know, we're feeling pretty good. Not overconfident, of course, but...
I've scheduled a family portrait that is just happening on a important day. I was talking to a photographer who had a kid a couple months ago, and they were living in New York and found out that their healthcare was going to be $1,300 a month, and they were like, "All right, well, we're out of here. You know, we can't do this."
Between that and childcare, those two costs, like it's with that's being in the military. You don't really have to worry about that.
Is it okay? I know, really, for us, nothing is going to change. We talk about how crazy it is, but nobody, at least in the people that we're spending time with on the street, nobody's saying, oh, it's Donald Trump all the way, and this is why I believe it. Nobody's like a firm believer. And in fact, nobody has even said how they're voting one way or another. I think because nobody wants to stir the pot.
I don't want either of them to be president.
You and a lot of other people.
If you vote for the other ones, you're just wasting your vote. Because they didn't know who to vote for.
Yep.
Election day is finally here. We will be here all night bringing you the results as they come in. For now, we're going to talk about how we got here.
I'm assuming the average person is like opening up their social media and getting a lot of their blurbs from that.
Social media has been blamed for the rise of Trump.
You know, I have now Twitter, 7.5 million people.
Hillary Clinton thinks that she can break through this news cycle with a Snapchat video. It's not going to happen.
It's tough because it's in your face, sometimes more than you want it to be.
You're not ashamed of the fact that Donald Trump has called women fat pigs. She did not keep to her word.
How are we doing this?
Yeah.
That's the fun thing in a hardware store. There are so many ways to destroy things.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This one right actually over there. Just in case.
That must have felt good.
Look at it smoking. My wife and I, we talk about this political season that we're in, and we wonder if this is the type of world we want to bring kids into. Yeah. And that's a really serious thing to have to talk about.
There's no more conversation. There's debate. There's debate from very entrenched positions on issues. This campaign's been a lot about this rural and urban divide, and it just has me really pissed off. I grew up hunting on the Mississippi. My dad, my uncles, it was what we did as a family.
I would assume most of the mass shooters weren't kids who were 9 or 10 years old and they were tromping around out in the timber, squirrel hunting, rabbit hunting,
Right.
Right. Just and their dad was the one that was, you know, beating their butt if they didn't do something right.
Yeah. Yeah. Mishandle the gun. Guns are permanent.
I think the majority of the Americans are centrists.
Yeah.
You know?
And there are gun owners like me who, you know, believe there should be restrictions. I feel we're the silent majority. Thanks so much.
Sure, man.
Have a great one.
One of the newest additions to the universe of blue states is the Commonwealth of Virginia. This was a Republican state for a long, long time until President Obama won it twice. Now its 13 electoral votes are essential to Hillary Clinton.
I'm really curious how people are feeling about this election, just to see kind of like what's going on in Virginia, because you've got wide socioeconomic range, some very diverse pockets, some not so diverse pockets. So you've been out here since bright and early then?
5 o'clock this morning.
And just lots of stories. There's kind of a strange, dark poetry, I think, that courses through a lot of Virginia. What's this place all about?
Well, it was a barber shop. We're going to close it up or whatever, or sell it or whatever.
Yeah? Was it your place, or?
No, a real good friend of mine.
Okay. Well, if you're down with it, man, I'd love to make a picture of you and just, like, chat with you a little bit about your thoughts on the election. Is that cool with you?
Last national polling before the race is decided. A national poll from Monmouth University gives Clinton a 6-point lead, 50% to 44%.
It's a pretty crazy election, as I'm sure you're aware.
Very well.
Yeah, so just tell us what you're thinking.
Well, I'm going to tell you just like this. I just had to go with her. And Donald Trump, he done showed what he's about, you know, and I couldn't trust him.
Yeah.
Not to be the president. Hillary, whatever happens, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be whatever it's gonna be. Can't be no worse.
Yeah, at least she's got experience.
Yeah. Yeah, she got the experience.
Yeah.
If she used it right.
Well, I appreciate you making the time to chat with us today, man, because you were great to talk to.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Both Republicans and Democrats have been keeping a very close eye on the polls today. Teams of people have been deployed throughout the city and the suburbs to ensure the electoral process is not compromised.
We're working on a project about the election, if you have a minute.
First, we had a black president. Now it seems like we're going to have a female president. It's changing.
Yeah.
So you just got to be with the time. So don't stress. Just let time take its place.
That's a really positive outlook. I like that a lot.
To take out my stress?
Take out all your stress. We got a good video for you on the background.
I have a worse situation because I'm with the visa after 21 years. But it would happen to me. If the person I don't like go up, I change the law, I must go back to Italy. And I have a big farm over there, but you know, New York is New York. I love here. 21 years, I will love to stay in this country. We have employee, we have a life. And, you know, if we go like the wrong person, maybe, you know, our life change. I'm ready!
Let's do this, Kiko.
Press on! Done.
Nice.
Go back to work. I feel better. Bye.
Millions of Americans are going to the polls today, and civil rights groups, political parties, campaigns, and others are watching for signs of voter intimidation and other problems.
As far as the two candidates and me as an artist and being on the ground, I don't take a position. What I do, I'm an observer and I listen.
The main issue here so far in the past 2 hours, so from 7 to about 9:30, 10 o'clock, only 150 people voted. And this is one of the largest precincts. Only 150 voted in 2 hours. And why? Because they have a huge line of 2.5 hours. And why do they have a huge line? Because they only have 2 people checking on driver licenses.
There are some charges here at the Gwinnett Water Resources that there is voter discrimination. The allegations stem from African American and Latino voters. They claim when they waited in line to vote, their names were not on the list.
When he checks the driver license, he finds out that he's supposed to vote or she's supposed to vote somewhere else in another precinct. So this guy now is mad because he's just waited for 2.5 hours.
And so he's not gonna vote?
No, this is a Democratic district, and I think somebody wants to make sure that Democrats don't come out and vote.
I'm here to tell our stories, to try to show a different side of showing the pain of what's going down in the communities.
I don't think people understand how difficult rural life is for the majority of people who live in these remote communities.
They are hurting and they're crying out. You're not going to see that in the media. You're going to see more of what they call a defiant, angry black man.
No industry, lack of access to health care, dental. It's really tough for people to continue, especially at the family farm level.
When I go out and photograph protest images and on the ground, I really try to connect with the people. And I'm looking for moments, not the same images that media projects. These young people are screaming and yelling out because they're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I had trouble voting. The machine broke on me. We have 2 machines, okay? And one is broke. I went at it with the Trump guy when I was voting today, the guy in a truck with a big Trump sign, and he wants to talk to me, and I said, no, I'm here to make history and vote for Hillary. And he said, well, and I said, don't you think it's interesting that all of the Hillary signs in Martins Creek disappeared, but none of the Trump signs did? He said, oh, they probably took their own signs. I said, yeah. He's a businessman. So would he do business with Trump, who doesn't pay people that he hires to do work?
We know all the stuff about Trump's,
No, but I mean, those
ways,
are things to talk to a business person about.
Yeah, those are literal facts.
I'm sorry. I'm staying with the literal facts. Okay? The literal facts.
I dwell in other places.
Clearly.
This is Larry Fink, the photographer. I was assuming that you're having a big soiree for the hopeful Hillary victory. And I was hoping that I would be gifted to enter and photograph.
Hi, Tariq. My name is Mike. I'm calling from the Hillary Clinton campaign. How are you tonight?
It's Vagina Day.
You guys going out to canvas?
We're going out to canvas.
So turnout from the very beginning has been astounding. I think people understand how important this is and are sort of been awakened by that.
Well,
and that's a really positive thing for our democracy.
Yeah.
And we're very happy with how everything's going. Mm-hmm.
Hillary's been a very, very good public servant. She has some duplicity, certainly, because everybody who has big ambitions has to. It's the nature of ambition.
Can we go check out Trump Tower just for the fuck of it? It's always 500 media and 5 people.
Let's go, folks. Keep on moving. Can't be hanging out.
Trump is fighting for you. His only special interest is the American people. Moving on, please.
Welcome to New York.
Keep on moving. Can't be hanging out.
Gentlemen, you guys got to keep moving, please.
It's public sidewalk, and I'm trying to do my job. I'm going to be here all night, man. We all are. This is the biggest day of the year.
Make sure you take that. Hi. How are you? Good.
How are you, man?
The fly on the wall thing has never worked for me. I have to interact with people. I just kind of think about it like, what would make me comfortable?
It's a great day, isn't it?
I'm chairman of the Lehigh Valley Tea Party. It is an open carry state. Normally, I would be carrying a firearm so that it's, visible. But working the polls, I chose not to because some people might consider that an intimidation tactic. And that's the last thing we want to do.
The popular vote is the vote that should count, not the state votes.
Exactly.
There you go, sir. Thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate your vote and your support. I'm a supporter of the union, so that's what got me out here. Help my brothers all across the world.
I got to get a picture of you with that, for sure. It's too cool. If the photograph is able to kind of access somebody's emotional state, their psychological state, and that's something that really interests me. Bring your chin down just a touch. There you go.
For many Americans, the end of the presidential campaign couldn't come soon enough.
How are you, Adam?
Good, how are you?
Good.
You would think with how divisive this campaign's been that, you know, people would, but small town Iowa, everyone's just happy.
Let's go drain the swamp.
So we're being forced to deal with these issues whether we like it or not. Or I tell everybody this, are we just gonna blow each other up?
Oh, they'll kill him if he gets elected. That's how bad they are. They're the most evilest people I ever seen, lying to nigh.
Who would kill him?
Well, the Democrats.
I might move to Canada. Truly. I mean, truly. Because I think there will be blood in the streets.
There's a push by both sides for last-minute voters.
I think it's something that's going to be timeless. Again, just turn this way a little bit more. There you are.
How did it feel to vote today?
We felt good.
This is her first time.
Well, congratulations. I'm excited
I'll be
for
voting
you.
more in the future.
Good, good.
It's important. Very important.
We're gonna float around. They have 3 different things going on. At 8 o'clock over at Morehouse and Spelman, they're having a watch party.
No Democrat has won the presidency without winning Ohio since John Kennedy in 1960. No Republican has won the presidency without winning Ohio ever.
I'm sorry. You can hear about 3 shootings in one night. And I'm like,
For sure.
sometimes I have to turn the news off because I don't want to hear it. It bothers me that it's still going on. And they're having all these marches and things, and there's no change. There's no change. You just never know what can happen to anybody. So I want to enjoy my life. I'm not putting things on hold.
To win here, Clinton needs a big showing from African-American voters.
Yeah.
For me personally, I had no one to vote for.
Yeah, everybody keeps using this like lesser of 2 evils thing, and I think that's really lame. Like
Yeah,
I was at the poll and I'm like Hillary, and I unclicked it, but it was like I don't want Trump to be president, so I re-clicked it. You know what I'm saying? Hillary definitely represents change to where it makes everything more progressive.
Yeah.
Is she the best one for the job?
It makes it more progressive.
I wish you would.
That's it.
No, I voted for her, but she's
as
a
a
terrible
woman, I will
person.
say it sucks to be like, this is what I get.
Why don't you like Hillary?
Just because of the level of corruption throughout her presidential candidacy, her support of the prison pipeline, even though, you know, she has apologized for it, but just, you know, there's already a precedent, and that has affected me personally.
So if Trump wins, what are y'all gonna do?
If Trump became president, I'm gonna kind of thug it out till February. I want to see how racist people get, how outgoing people get.
Listen, what happens. I made sure I had John Lewis on Senate. I made sure I had John Lewis on Senate. That's who I voted for.
Must be nervous. Amy Robach, you're over at the New York Hilton where Trump campaign hoping to celebrate tonight.
That's right, and there are a lot of people already.
What's that? I'm independent, but I work for Wall Street Journal, Time Magazine. Yeah, I'm just taking pictures of everything. Yeah, what about you guys?
From Taiwan.
Oh, Taiwan.
Yeah.
It's like if you shoot a party, do you shoot the people dancing at the party, or do you shoot the person in the corner eating hummus? Excuse me. Do you mind if I just get your awesome tie? I think that the hummus is kind of interesting. Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. They're kind of scary looking. Should get some more of them. Are you ready?
Ready for what?
I don't know. You're just, it's a big day, man.
It's amazing. I'm a songwriter too. I work in a hotel, but I'm a songwriter. I make a video for Latinos against Trump.
Oh, really?
¿De
dónde sos?
De Bolivia.
Ah, mira.
Yo hice... Oh, ¿tú eres argentino?
No, bueno, soy ruso, pero aprendí el español en Argentina.
No, de todos los inmigrantes, súper complicada. Con esta mano que se viene, peor.
La mayoría de mi trabajo tiene que ver con inmigración, de hecho. De hecho, si quieres, te mando.
Dale, seguro.
Sí, tiene que ver con familias que viven en el valle, en California, también con la política, la frontera.
Claro que sí.
Cuidado.
Dale,
suerte.
No, cuídate.
Sí.
Chao, mi hermano. Gracias.
Chao.
What I find interesting about Iowa is it's no different than the country. It's very divided politically.
National polls show Hillary Clinton with anywhere from a 3 to 6 point lead over Donald Trump.
You're fine. You're fine.
I was going to say, not a me.
Thank you. No, you're great.
When Trump wins tonight, and all the media has to eat crow, there's going to be some really sweet pictures to take that day, too.
That's the great thing. As a photographer, I get whatever happens anyway. I shoot what happens, and it all works great for me. Have fun, you guys. Have a good night.
Great time.
I get it. I struggle too, and I the lies that Trump told. But again, if he's picking someone like Pence, when Pence spoke, it reminded me a lot of what Ted said. I think if Trump picked him, he's going to make some right decisions. Maybe not all of them, but maybe some. But hopefully, I know.
All of our volunteers are not going to get here until 9 o'clock because they're not getting off the phones until then. So.
You are God-fearing. You are patriotic. You are compassionate, and you have true grit. I want to thank my Lord, Jesus Christ, for getting me through this day, because it's not easy, and I lean on.
We're in the press room of the Javits Center. It's just rows and rows and rows of press people from all over the world. My role on an event like this is to photograph what I see. That is the first responsibility. I think the second responsibility is to try and tell the story.
Gracious press conference, lots of flags.
I've made a selection of the group. I've narrowed it down. I'm going to send these to my editor at Time, and I'm going to put a couple maybe up on the Time Instagram feed and maybe on my own feed.
The largest demographic, bigger than baby boomers, gets its news from Facebook. What does this mean in a presidential election cycle?
As I was doing research to try to put these collages together, I started to feel more like I understood the other side of it when you have constant information that benefits your storyline and the views that you have coming at you.
So much of the news that we're reading, we see via Facebook, and that Facebook prioritizes that information, yes, based on an algorithm.
Facebook says that we're not putting ourselves into a bubble.
There are people who turn to their social media. They believe everything they read and see, and we saw that bleed into the campaigning.
It's easy to think, you know, well, I know that I'm right all the time, because obviously it feels like the entire world is agreeing with me and everyone is just demonizing the other side, and all I see is everything that says that I'm right and you're wrong.
Millennials are going to be flipping on their phones and finding news on Facebook.
So polls are closing in 3 minutes. So now we're gonna drop stuff at my sister's where I'm staying, and then watch election results roll in from the bar across the street. And hope that we can go to sleep tonight knowing that our future is secure.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Decision Night in America here at NBC's Democracy Plaza. It is 7 p.m. in the East. The polls have just closed in 6 states.
Do you know what we're voting for?
No. You silly Billy Dad.
Can you tell me who these people are?
There is.
Who's that?
That's an orange guy, and that's a lady.
Yeah. We've done our part. It's out of your hands. And I was like, it's not about us, really. It's like, it's about our kids, and it's about, like, what we're leaving for them. Yeah.
So polls are closed now in 7 battleground states, and we can't project a winner in any of them.
The country is split, and we're going to have to see what's going to happen.
If Trump loses tonight, as I think he will, well, we don't know what. You really don't know how vicious these people are. Just be careful.
Bye-bye.
We have our first projections. Donald Trump will win the state of Indiana. When the votes are counted, we project that Donald Trump will win in Kentucky as well.
We just saw the electoral votes out of Kentucky, and it was Trump 80% to 18%. That's intense.
The indications are this is shaping up as a tight race for president. We could be in for a long night. Polls have closed in 6 states, including 2 of the battlegrounds.
It don't feel like it's election day. Are you happy?
Nah, I know. It feels like voting day.
Yeah, it's kind of like just everybody. It's a different vibe. Right? Different vibe. We definitely don't want Trump, but we really don't care for Hillary too much. Yeah, some lame options out there. Exactly. I don't really look to a president to make changes. Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. You gotta actually get the attention of the lawmakers. You gotta actually make some noise. We all we got.
We all we got.
Yeah.
Now to Pennsylvania, one of the more hotly contested states leading up to tonight. There are 20 electoral votes up for grabs in the Keystone State. Rick Leventhal's live for us near Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Into another interlude. Come on in. Is this where folks are meeting for Clinton?
Yeah, indeed.
Come on.
And these people say he tells the truth. What footage are they watching?
I tell you, I had my yard sign stolen 4 times.
4 times?
Yeah. Yep.
The Hillary sign.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Colorado. Right now, 7% of the vote is in. Hillary Clinton has a 42,000 plus vote lead over Donald Trump.
That's all those pot smokers out there, voting the right way.
And I just think that the movement that Donald Trump has built has been able to grow the party in a very different way, be more pro-worker, a little less elitist.
That's what is really interesting about both the Sanders and Trump campaigns is it did energize some people who were out of the process.
But you think if Martin dropped out, he would have won this state?
Probably right.
But there is the possibility that we're going to see the electoral map change, and that with more Hispanics, more African American voters.
I don't think Mr. Trump discriminates people. He just doesn't like the people that are here committing crimes or terrorists. He doesn't like that kind of. And I don't think we will be comfortable with criminals around here anyways. And I think we need safety in our borders.
So yeah, we winning. So we're gonna get all the way like red, white, and blue. We're gonna do it.
Thanks, guys. He just went up 6, and he's got West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Oklahoma.
Donald Trump, we project, will win. Kansas, too early to call. In Georgia, too early to call. In Virginia, with its 13 electoral votes, we cannot make a projection yet. And
but
too early to call.
If there is a crack in any of those 4 states, this is going to be a night where the Jacob Javits Center is the wrong place for Hillary Clinton to be.
Ooh, geez, Virginia? Wow. I don't know. We might just all be surprised tonight.
It really, really looks like Trump's going to take Virginia.
Yeah.
All that noise out there to put fear into people, and people are going for it. And it shows you the split of this country, the state and condition of this country. Okay, Noni restaurant, we're going there because they're doing a watch party.
Anderson, this night is turning out to be a real nail-biter.
One of the newest additions to the universe of blue states is the Commonwealth of Virginia. Now, its 13 electoral votes are essential to Hillary Clinton.
All right, my anxiety's through the roof now.
Come on!
We have another state to call, and is the state of Virginia. Virginia, 13 electoral votes. It's going to go to Hillary Clinton right there.
She won Virginia. She got Virginia.
She has a lead right now over Trump, although it is too early to project a winner.
Such a key state for Hillary Clinton, her running mate, Tim Kaine from Virginia. You would even call it, John Carl, a must-win state.
It was a lot closer than anybody thought it would be.
That's right, 48-47 coming in.
The New York Times forecast says that Clinton is gonna win easily.
I don't think so, man. No, look, here.
70%.
Yeah, but I don't know, bro.
Are having to be escorted by police to the voting place because Trump supporters are blocking the doors and calling them racial slurs. This isn't a third-party telephone game rumor. This is people. Nice. Are you going to go to Javits?
No, I'm going to try to get in here.
So what do you say about Hillary?
Fuck Hillary. Hillary's gonna lose.
Just a lot of angry people. I get angry too sometimes. It doesn't feel like people want to unite.
Actually, did you see in Florida they're at 91% reporting, and Trump's up by 1 percentage point right now.
Really?
And pretty much the Panhandle's the only thing that hasn't reported, so that's kind of huge.
That's a stronghold.
Panhandle, that's the South, man.
Yeah. The Trump campaign has been saying that Florida's a must-win for them. And I mean,
they can't win without it. It looks like he's running the table on these remaining states. Florida, 95% of the vote is in. Donald Trump has a lead of well over 100,000 votes. There's just not enough votes out there, I believe, for Hillary Clinton to recapture the lead, but still haven't called it. But that is looking trending very solidly for Donald Trump.
In Iowa as well, more than half of the vote is in, 54%. Donald Trump is ahead by 32,000.
We've got another big state. It's an important one. Actually, it's a small state, but it's a very important one. It's the state of Iowa. Gone to Donald Trump.
Iowa is sending a message to Harry Reid and Barack Obama that when you have a backbone and you stand up for what's right, Iowans are going to reward you. And I think that's a message that the entire country should look at and see that when you
Amy Robach, you're over at the New York Hilton.
The mood in that room could be summed up with one word: fireworks, and another one: intense. But a dramatic shift in mood here in the past hour, and we are all watching very closely as these returns come in.
I kind of predicted that. In North Carolina,
no one can really wrap their head around a woman being in an authoritative position.
As CNN now projects that Donald Trump will carry the state of Georgia with its 16 electoral votes. 84% of the vote is in. You see it does.
The state of Georgia, 16 electoral votes. They are going to go to Donald Trump as well.
The path for Hillary Clinton to win is still there, but it's problematic.
So where do we go from here?
We just have to watch it.
Keep watching, keep hoping. I still think Hillary will win, but the fact that it's this close.
It shows you the state and condition of this country.
America's not what we claim to be, I think. That's plain and simple.
We're going to be all right, y'all.
We're going to be all right. Right. We made it through worse.
We have a major projection right now. Donald Trump will take Ohio.
Democracy is alive and well.
This is of enormous consequence to Secretary Clinton tonight.
Drastic shift in the mood here at the Javits Center.
Yeah. It's a weird mood around here, that's for sure.
The paths are starting to get cut off for her.
The map continues to get smaller and smaller and smaller. The lead for Donald Trump gets bigger and bigger.
Is it for real? Has Trump taken New Hampshire? No way.
Revolution in this country for so fucking long that maybe it's so needed that it just has to happen. Maybe he is a harbinger of that. Everyone's so afraid, but maybe it's the best thing instead of like shit going as it normally does.
It's America we're talking about.
But that's what I'm saying, is that mentality. This is America we're talking about. This is the way shit goes. Like, why not? Like,
I think we also, as Americans, take our democracy for granted.
President Trump may be something that everybody needs to get used to.
It is remarkable what we're seeing here.
To win, David Muir, he is closing in.
He certainly is, George, and look at this. This is really fascinating.
It's kind of scary, this whole thing. It's so close. I feel like the whole election I've actually pretended that it's not happening, just to shoot and just to not worry about it, to get the work done. But now that it's actually here, I'm kind of like, oh fuck, it's real. It's the first time I'm feeling like a real citizen, rather than just some guy behind a camera who's been, you know.
I am feeling confident. I hope that there is a move towards good change in the world.
I've been talking to my friends now for 3 months, and I think Trump's going to win big.
What are we going to do if he wins? Honestly, what are we going to do if he fucking wins?
People are going to have to march to mobilize. We're gonna have to come together.
I was in tears before she picked me up, right?
Okay.
Like literally, like
Okay.
crying, like I cannot take this.
Okay.
And then a beautiful black woman picked me up at Lyft and said she voted for Trump, and I was like,
Did you ask her why?
yeah.
What'd she say?
She said she was tired of the same old thing over and over and
That's how
over
he's
and over
getting
and
people.
over again.
They don't see the rhetoric.
Yeah.
They see he's gonna bring about change.
But then I also learned she used to be a cop. And then I was like, okay, I get it.
I don't know what I feel about Hillary. I think I would want to see her there way before I want to see Trump. It's just difficult to feel her. People are going to have to get into their communities and mobilize and define what it is that they want. They're going to have to become their own president in some manner, you know.
Florida. Oh, who's gonna? If he wins Florida, that's really bad.
I voted in Florida. I did everything I could.
Donald Trump will win the state of Florida, according to the Fox News decision desk. A very tight race, but he is pulling that off.
Wait, Chris, I gotta call you. Holy shit.
People are in the mood to celebrate, and certainly at Trump headquarters, we are waiting for him.
So even if she gets California's 55, it doesn't mean anything. She's still behind.
Holy shit. Is he really going to win this thing?
Dow was down 833 points. The NASDAQ and S&P 500 future down so low, they halted them.
Did you hear that? Yeah. The markets are crashing. They're shutting them down.
Inside the Javits Center, there is stunned disbelief.
It sort of feels like you're just waiting for the final, waiting for the other shoe to drop.
The odds completely favor Donald Trump being elected next president of the United States.
We all thought it couldn't happen. Guess what? He may just do it. Mike Murphy, what did you miss?
Oh, boy, I missed a lot.
The brainwash was in, the propaganda was in, the fix was in.
Come on, call it! Call it in Pennsylvania already!
It's going to be half the country for her and half for him, and she might win, or he might win. And that means a lot.
Let's see, history made!
It means we have to work twice as hard for goodness.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? Aren't you?
Aren't you?
The Fox News decision desk has called Pennsylvania for Donald Trump. This means that Donald Trump will be the 45th president of the United States. Surreal election we have ever seen. This candidacy starting on an escalator ride.
Right now, a historic moment. Donald Trump wins the presidency.
Thank you, white man.
The most unreal, surreal election we have ever seen.
For the liberal establishment! USA! People's president right there!
Outside is this huge after party that is just waiting to happen. And it's a complete bust. The confetti is ready to pop and the balloons are ready to go, and it just doesn't move.
Ours was not a campaign, but rather an incredible and great movement made up of millions of hardworking men and women who love their country and want a better, brighter future for themselves.
All the so-called experts said, guess what? Trump's going to lose, Trump's going to lose, Trump's going to lose. They didn't anticipate that the true American people came out to vote.
The people have spoken.
America wanted change. And Trump had a movement.
Interesting? Yeah. Shocking? Yeah. Unexpected? No, not when you're on the ground. People are fed up.
Fuck Trump! I don't know what he'll do as a president. I don't think anyone does.
It means the world to me. Feels like I'm celebrating a birthday.
You're awake, by the way. You're not having a terrible, terrible dream.
This is your life now. This is our election now. This is us. This is our country.
I don't know if my America is the same as everyone else's.
In New York, we are in such a bubble. It's a really scary feeling in there. When I look at the people's faces, you just get this sense of just complete despair almost. And it's a weird feeling, but it just feels dead in here, really dead. What everyone was hoping we were going to see wasn't there. Hillary never showed. I think in a way, everyone maybe would have felt a little bit better there if they had seen her. But instead, they were kind of left in limbo.
I don't know if I've ever felt quite so disoriented and disillusioned with my country.
I feel for everyone right now. And then also how we're perceived by the rest of the world. I'm hoping that after this election we can start to mend those things or come back together in some way.
Where are you?
I'm just coming from Morehouse. They had a watch party.
I know it's crazy, but are you free to get a drink or something?
You know what? I don't drink, actually.
Do you want to get some coffee or something? I want to see someone. This is terrible.
Louis, you told me you wanted to be a Republican, didn't you?
Aaron and I thought we could change the party.
I'm absolutely magnetized and glued to chance. I'm biased by the animal fact of the moment and how I respond directly to the onslaught of the people that I'm confronting by wanting to photograph them. So my bias is inherently and innately animal. So I just allow the emotional system to be the fluid drive.
It's not about Donald Trump, it's not about Hillary Clinton, they're just a metaphor for like the collective healing that we need in this country and the world and that we're not going through.
That's all I can say is what it is. Give the people what they want. We're just gonna have to watch the show and survive.
A lot of this work that we create in general and is a reaction to our own mirror, like the mirror of what we're feeling.
I love being part of moments like this. I was there at the very beginning. I was at the RNC and I stayed here in Iowa till the very end. And that's just an amazing opportunity to learn so much. So how could I be anything but energized? Now on a personal level, well, that's for me and my family.
One student of mine a long time ago said, "Yo, Larry, you make getting a good picture feel like a moral victory." It's a lovely thing to say. In a certain way, that's what a good picture is a moral victory for being able to be clear and then beautiful and multi-layered at the same time.
And that's how you get it done, kids.
No
That
sparks.
is a clean cut.
I really thought there were going to be sparks.
See you in 4 years.